Make sure I'm in the right lighting. See, it's a bit dark there. See, one second now. We'll just fix. That's a bit better in the lighting. Hi everyone, thanks for joining if you're joining live, or if you catch this on a replay. Thank you so much for taking the time to join in. Tonight I'm talking about moving from fear to trust. And over the past 3 months I've been running the first group program that I did, which is, it started off called Moving from Fear to Trust, but we actually realised that we were instilling a completely new philosophy into our way of living. So I quickly changed the name of the program to Trust is my default setting. So I think the first stage is actually moving out of fear and identifying those areas. So I have made a few points, just keep myself, hi Brendan, hi, thanks for joining, and hi Tawn, isn't it? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong. So basically what we're doing is we're identifying the areas in your life that are holding you back. And oftentimes we're not even aware what is actually holding us back, in terms of, you know, if we have, say, maybe a health issue showing up, or if there's certain blocks in, say, our career or in relationships or whatever. All these kind of things are basically, when we bring it back to the finest detail, it's really all to do about energy. So in terms of, you know, we hear a lot about manifesting and law of attraction, all this kind of stuff, but actually how we're manifesting is actually through our body. So in the program I'm using the tool of fragrance alchemy that was brought through by Almeen of Spiritual Journeys, and it's a really, really advanced healing tool that works on certain meridian points. So for example, the very first point that we're talking obviously about taking or removing yourself from fear and dissolving fear is not just coming from a mental concept, because we can't think ourselves out of it, because everything's held energetically in our physical body. So with the fragrance alchemy, we're working, the foundation course really is working with the 12 ordinary meridians. Hi Michelle, thanks for joining. And when we're working with these, what we're actually going to be doing is we're dissolving all of the pain that has actually accumulated in our body from past experience, but also from our family line. So in case of, say for example, one of the organs is your kidney meridian, fear is actually held in your kidneys. So even if you're doing lots of mind work and you're very aware of yourself, you're still not able to actually clear out that fear. So this is why the tool of fragrance alchemy is so important at this particular time in our evolution, in our journey, so that we can actually dissolve the emotions that are now obsolete, that are no longer relevant, while at the same time there is a transition period that you have to go through to actually release out all these emotions. And there's lots of different exercises that I do in the program, which is cutting the energetic ties that are binding you to the past with your family, and in terms of how in our previous cycle basically our growth would come through opposition with the outside, and also through pain. So a lot of suffering has gone on through our family lines. If we look back, you know, this is typical in everyone's kind of family story. So actually now it actually takes a whole new way of bringing yourself and doing lots and lots of different, you know, practicing certain principles and practicing different exercises to actually cut those energetic ties that are holding you from basically wanting to be able to create through joy and wanting to be able to create through a much higher frequency. But basically you can't just do this from a mental level. When you're actually going through this, you're having to physically, energetically clear out the old. So for example, you have the fear in the kidneys, you have grief that are held in your lungs. So I'll give an example from my own family. My own grandmother, her mother died when she was, I think, in her early 30s, and she went into the kitchen and her mum was dead on the floor, and she got such a shock that she ended up getting asthma. She never had asthma previously to that. When I heard that, I was just like, oh my gosh, that was just, you know, textbook really. Like when grief at such a level hits your body, it's like, because your system doesn't want you to collapse because you have a survival instinct. The organs that hold those emotions will literally be containers until there is such a time that maybe you might be able to process them, or maybe that you can't ever process them and it has to be passed on through your family line. So in my own personal journey, I was working with not just my own healing. I felt like I was bringing through a lot of my family karma that I was carrying, and I really had this huge thing in my head. I need to clear my DNA, I need to clear out all this stuff in my DNA. Didn't know where it was coming from. And then when I started to train, I trained in fragrance alchemy as a rune master 2 years ago. And then I discovered, oh wow, all these kind of natural instincts that I had and the urges were actually true. Because what's coming through our meridians, if we have, say, the old negative emotions that are stuck, we keep recreating situations that basically show us, like, even though time is passing, things are not actually changing. It's like this kind of feeling of like you're going around and around in a fishbowl. Things might be re-emerging and, you know, appearing in different forms through different situations. So everything is actually energy, which is why I call my community energies your currency. So Trust is Your Default Setting is the name of my group program, and I'm going to be enrolling. I've got 3 spaces left and I'm enrolling up to next Monday. So I'm going to be doing a good few promotional videos, just kind of sharing if this jumps out to you. I think it's not for everyone. You have to be at this stage, you have to be ready for it, and you have to kind of have this is completely the next step for me. So if you want any other details or anything, please send me a private message and I'll be happy to have a chat and see if this will suit you. And do I have any other points? Oh yeah, so after you actually fully disconnect the negative from your family line, we then actually connect to the strength of your ancestral line, and we really enhance all the gifts that have been passed on through your parents, through your grandparents, and through whatever really pops out. It's interesting when you start to clear away the cobwebs that you actually start to see how, you know, you chose the certain family that you were to be born into, and it's actually all perfect for you. And in a way, it's like, yes, you're kind of restoring wholeness, but also at the same time, you're not seeing it through the eyes of judgment or, you know, blaming anyone, or, you know, it's not to do with like dragging out the past, but actually it's about really being able to realign yourself and actually realize that what you can do is, you know, the ability to heal your own self, and how that then actually helps restore the dynamics in your family. Even if people have passed away, it really brings a whole sense of harmony and kind of restores what you feel is the loss that was caused by previous traumas and different experiences. So this is what I wanted to share with you tonight, and like I said, if you are interested, please get in touch, and I'm going to be doing some other videos the next few days about this program and just a few little nuggets of what I've learned with bringing the first group through this program, because it's been an absolute amazing experience for me to facilitate, and I really can't wait for more people to experience this. And I think it's going to bring huge healing to people's own individual selves, but also families, and bring it into our larger communities. So thanks for joining, and see you soon.